Right, so it's time to assemble this piece of shit. So this is an AliExpress battery. Came in this, the generic like shark style cases. But what I noticed is whenever whenever I'd go above like around 600 watts or so, this thing would sag like crazy. So about for the first like half a year, it worked okay. I mean, there was like about 6, 7 volts of voltage sag, which is not good at all. But hey, at least it got me to school and back. But yeah, it's just completely fuculated right now. So I am now doing the tedious process of removing each of these nickel strips so that I can remove the cells and then replace them with some of these Samsung 30Q cells. I will be adding I am aware that the 30Q cells have an issue where they go out of balance pretty quickly. So I got this 1.2 amp balancing board thing that should help at least keep some of the cells balance in check. I'm thinking of just reusing the old BMS. I mean, it worked okay. No real biggie. If it fucks up, then oh well, I guess I'll have to replace it then. But yeah, I'm gonna probably fill it up maybe as a 3S4P. Sorry, 13S4P instead of, I think this is a 5P. Yeah, this is a 5. Instead of the 13S5P or 6P, I can't even. I guess this is a 5P. I don't know. And that's mainly because those 30Q cells, they are a lot more, well, they're better essentially at everything. These are 3200 milliamp hour cells, which I do not believe them. And which considering their voltage sag, you probably could only get like what, like fucking 12 amps, 10, 12 amp hours out of a 17.5 amp pack. 17 and a half, where is it? 17 and a half amps, 17 amp hours. So hopefully by replacing this, it should mean that I get quite a bit more use out of the motor. I mean, the motor is kind of on its way out. Some water somehow got in it, and then it rusted a bit of parts, but I cleaned off the rust a bit, added some more grease, added some extra lubricant in there, so it should help it last a bit longer. It's not like but that motor is on a is going to be a much lower powered bike now because like my sister's using it and then she doesn't need the full 1400 watts of power. So yeah, hopefully should be good. I've just gotta take all this shit off. Oh, and also this thing, it is starting there are a bit of rust and fuckery on it. So I'm gonna guess this is nickel plated steel, not pure nickel. I have some proper pure nickel right here, which I'll be replacing it with, which means that, well, first off, there are less losses to the actual nickel strips, and second off, it'll be much better at transferring, I guess. I don't know what the correct word is. Conducting current, so it shouldn't heat up as much as well. So yeah, it's just another thing I have to do. In terms of insulation, it's fish paper, and that's probably all I'm gonna do. Just cause, well, that's what the battery came with. Maybe some extra EVA foam though. And also this is an actual casing of the battery, and it gets held in with this instead of my other design where the battery is not exactly the structure, but it's not like fully isolated. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. If these manufacturers thought that this was good enough, I guess this is good enough. I can't really be bothered. Yeah, that's just gonna be a pain in the ass. Little bit of an update. I am currently finish refilling the battery pack for my sister's e-bike. I've got this spot welder thing using 1.5 kilowatt ring core transformer thing, and some guy built a custom mainboard. It's pretty sketchy because those things are fucking live. You don't really want to touch them. But, I mean, it works. Gives okay spot welds. I mean, with this handle right now, focus your fuck, thank you. You can see, like, I actually just regrounded those tips. But you can see how they are kind of flattening it out a bit. And if you look closely in the welds, you can actually see bits of the copper in there. Not exactly sure how to solve it, but I mean, currently it fucking welds, and just to be extra sure, I'm doing 3 welds per battery. So that should make it so these spot welds do not fail. You can see I had a little bit of a mishap there, but it should be fine. And they seem solid. I don't know. Yeah, should be fine. Is that after that's done, I'm gonna just shove the old BMS from the old bike in there. Sorry, old battery in there. Re-put it, replace it into that case. I've just kind of thrown all the old batteries there. I'm gonna have to properly dispose of them. But yeah, so far, pretty happy with this. It's currently done 352 welds. Power set to 100. And it's basically just using, there's like a little switch in here. You can probably hear it, hold on. Yeah, that's what triggers this. You can actually see the light light up. That's what triggers it to weld. And I kind of like the design because it means that when you press it down, it's going to be a lot more consistent because the force that you press it down with is going to be the same, pretty much the same every time, because it's going to take about the same amount of force to trigger it. So I think that should help me give a bit more consistent welds. I mean, okay, this is not the best welder, like it's still an AC spot welder. If for the best welds, you should probably get something like K-Weld. Those should give some of the best, most consistent welds, but hey, this was cheap. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep welding, and after I make all I'm currently making all the parallel connections, but after that I'm gonna have to make the series connections, and I'll shut the BMS in. After that, should be good. I actually did not even balance these cells. You're actually supposed to match these cells to be like at least 0.1 volts within each other, but I think the highest difference was about 0.2 volts that I saw. However, this is pretty much a discharged battery, so I'm not really too concerned. Plus, once I make all the parallel connections, it should balance out. Plus, with the balance charger, I'm going to be adding a 1.2 amp balance board to this. With all of that, the cell balancing should be solved, hopefully, theoretically, yeah. Alright, so the battery's complete. All the series connections are done. I am gonna double it up a bit, so to help with the current transfer, because this is 0.15 times 8 millimeter thick nickel strips, which I believe can only handle like 7 amps, like 7 amps or so, maybe 10. And the bike will be drawing around 25 amps, so, well, that's at full throttle. But yeah, just gonna double that up just to be better. But I did have a little mishap where my hand slipped, and now there's a nice little hole in this battery's casing. Wow. That was quite a big explosion too, and that whole chunk of battery, that whole piece of the battery got actually welded to this bit here, one of the electrodes. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Plus, this thing is like pretty much completely unusable now. So yeah. Just to be on the safer side, I did replace everything on that row. So these two, yeah, I'm just gonna try to not use them. My main concern is that weld there came off a little bit too easily. Like you can see there's barely any markings there. while the other side was really stuck on together. Like, so I am facing the issue of inconsistent welds, which what I can do is just try to increase. I did just increase the power from 100 to 130. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to see how it goes. If I really don't trust this welder, what I can do is I can just, what you call it, take it to a company and then ask them, hey, can you weld this for me? So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, anyways, complete. I have to just stick the BMS on and then hook it up to the charger. Alright, I have finished assembling it. And the fucking hell. Come on, there you go. Battery does work because I've turned the BMS on, and those are the two. They're actually the charging inputs, but good enough for now. One there. Oh fuck. One there, and another one over. Oh, this is really not a one-handed job. Right, there you go. 39.9 volts, so it's pretty much like completely discharged. One thing I fucked up on is I automatically assumed that this part will be the bottom of it, but no, it's the actual opposite. So while trying to make this battery a little bit more bottom heavy by keeping the cells around this area, I ended up making it a bit top heavy, which honestly doesn't really matter too much. But it also means that I have to extend some of these cables, which is kind of annoying. But right now, I just need it to charge and see what happens. Yeah, I'm just gonna plug it in, see what happens. Alright, so currently it's charging at 5.2 amps. It's only a 9 amp hour battery, so it should charge up pretty good. And one nice thing about charging it at a higher speed than what I would charge at normally is I can test for hotspots, see if anything gets unusually hot, and that is, well, a sign of trouble. But yeah, just gonna let this charge up a bit, maybe for half an hour or so, and then I'll see where it goes.